Hey there, welcome back. My name is Katie if you're new to my channel, and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living, and today we're making dirty rice. It's one of my daughter's favorite recipes or favorite dishes to eat, and I haven't really made it homemade very often, and I didn't really even have a recipe to go by, so I just kind of searched on YouTube like we all do, and I have followed the Cajun Ninja. He is from, I think, around the Houma Thibodeau area down South Louisiana, and I found his dirty rice recipe and we're basing it off of that. I will link his video in the description box if you want to go watch his video also. But today we're going to start off making some cold brew coffee because we loved Café du Monde coffee. This is the famous French Market beignet shop down in the French Quarter, sorry, French Quarter, not French Market. Beignet shop, and I bought this one and it is decaf, and when I drink coffee it's because I need the caffeine. So today I went and got the non-decaf, and so we're gonna throw this together real quick, get this in the fridge so that I'll have it before church tomorrow, and then we'll get our vegetables chopping for our dirty rice. All right, so I bought this, I think it's 2 quart jar, mason jar on Amazon. I'll leave it linked below. And it comes with a little filter basket in here. Then it's got a pour lid. And this is what we make our cold brew in. So I'm gonna take my loose coffee here. You could fresh grind your coffee and use any kind of coffee you want. And I'm gonna put, I think it's about 6 tablespoons. And now I hadn't even counted. Maybe it's 8. I think maybe it's 1 tablespoon per cup. All right, we're gonna go with 8 tablespoons. And now all you do is fill it with water. So as you can see, I filled it with water and it's already starting to make the coffee. You can see the coffee grounds are in here and they will just sit in here, and it says to let it soak for about 16 to 18 hours. We'll put our lid on here and we'll just put this in the fridge and it'll be ready for the morning. All right, so we have 1 bell pepper. We have a bunch of green onions, 2 stalks of celery, some garlic, and he calls for 1 red yellow onion. These are onions I grew in the garden. I just kind of cut off some bad spots, picked the smaller ones just because I'm chopping them up today. Doesn't matter how big they are. And we'll just get these chopped up. So if you don't know what dirty rice is, it is just a rice dressing, and it uses ground meat and breakfast sausage, at least this recipe does, but traditionally it will have like liver in it. We are not using livers or gizzards in our dirty rice today. My family doesn't like that, and so we are not using that. So we're just gonna get all these veggies chopped up now. All right, we have our veggies on. We'll move over to the stove now. All right, to our Dutch oven, we are gonna be adding 1 pound of breakfast sausage. We're using hot today. If you don't wanna use hot, you can use mild, or you can even just use a ground pork. You don't have to use the breakfast sausage. And I'm just using 1 pound of ground meat. All right, to this we're gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. If you're using store-bought chicken broth for this, you might wanna cut down the salt amount. Or if you're using store-bought Cajun seasoning, because those will have a higher salt content. And when I'm browning, I do like to have my burner on pretty high, so I can actually brown it and not just cook it. So you can see how it's kind of getting some brown on there. And you're getting all that flavor in the bottom of your pan that will deglaze with the chicken stock. We're gonna go ahead and set our oven to 300 degrees, so it's preheating. All right, we're gonna remove our meat from the pan. If it's not quite fully cooked, it's okay. It will be cooking for an hour in the oven. All right, to this we're gonna add, since there's a little bit of fat left in here from the meat, we're gonna add about 3/4 of a stick of butter. He calls for a whole stick, but I don't think we need a whole stick. And then to this we're gonna add our veggies. I did save some of the green onion tops to garnish with. Turn my burner down to a medium-ish. And I'm not forgetting my garlic. So I'm getting my garlic press out here. So we're gonna cook the vegetables. We're not gonna like saute them to get color on them. We just wanted to cook them down. So we're gonna cook these for about 20-25 minutes, and then we will put the rest of it together and get this in the oven. All right, to our pot now we're gonna add our meat back in. Our vegetables have cooked down nicely. They've started deglazing our pan here. So we'll add our meat back in. To this, we are going to add a quart of chicken stock. And like I said, if you're using store-bought, it might have higher sodium content, so just be careful with that. Now he adds a browning sauce to this. I'm not going to be adding that, and that's why it's called dirty rice actually, is because of the color makes it look dirty, but it doesn't really change the flavor, and it's just really a lot of ingredients that we particularly don't want to eat, put in our bodies. So we are skipping that. If you want to add that, that's totally fine. So he calls for 1 tablespoon of it. We're going to be adding our Cajun seasoning here. If you don't have this, there's a lot of store brand ones. Again, those have a high sodium content. I need to make some more amount of it. But I do sell this in my Etsy store if you're interested in purchasing that. I don't put a lot of salt in mine. I prefer to add salt to taste, and there's no preservatives or anti-caking agents in it. That's why it's kind of lumpy and I'm having to break the clumps up. But you know what? Anybody can break clumps up, right? All right, next we're gonna add, it says 2 beef bouillon cubes. And I don't have bouillon cubes, I have this just bouillon powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of this, and I was reading the ingredients and I'm like, nope, I make my own chicken broth and I freeze dry it and make my own chicken bouillon powder. I'm gonna have to start doing that with beef also, because I'm really not happy about the ingredients in this either. I'm learning more and more and more about what you should put in your body and what you should not. Now we're going to add 3.5 cups of water to this. So I'm just going to use my mason jar and fill this up. All right, 3.5 cups. And now to this we're going to add 4 cups of rice. Actually, we're going to bring this to a boil and then we're going to add our rice. All right, so we've come to a boil, and now we're going to add our 4 cups of rice here. Turning the burner off. We're going to give this a quick stir. We will cover this. We'll put it in the oven for 1 hour. All right, so we'll have that in the oven for about an hour. Well, exactly an hour, and then we'll take it out and we'll let it rest covered for 5 minutes, and we'll be back. All right, so here's our dirty rice, y'all. We're gonna give this a try. Now, like I said, the rice isn't as dark as it would be if you use that browning sauce, but we just chose not to put that in our recipe today. It's just a rice dressing. See all the steam coming off, it's so hot. The rice looks like it's cooked perfectly. After that 1 hour, it's all fluffy. I'm afraid I'll burn myself. That's so good, y'all. I hope you give this recipe a try. And if you do, let me know how it turns out. And well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.